Hello again. Welcome back to your 5-minute devotional stop with me, Amy Phillips. I'm on a journey moving from fear to faith, and I hope you'll join me for Just Believe. Well, hi there, friends. Now, I like me a little Joel Osteen. I like his simplicity, I like his hope and his faith. And so I was reading a little devotional this morning, and he said, the truth is, you will never rise above the image you have of yourself in your mind. This morning, believe you are made in the image of God. Now, of course, I've heard lots of that kind of jargon before, but for some reason this morning it stopped me in my tracks. I have spoken so much over the years about being image bearers of God. Genesis 1 writes, Then God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God he created him, male and female, he created them. So we're made, all of us, in the image of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Each person you see, you are looking at the very image of the Godhead. This was his original intent, that we would be like him on the earth by our very image. But then he took it one step further when Jesus told us he had to leave so the Holy Spirit, our comforter and teacher, would come and take up residence in us. So we're not only image bearers, but also, for those who receive the gift of salvation, we are also Holy Spirit homes, where he, the maker of the universe, abides. We look like him and we're filled by him. So I began to think, what is my self-image? Because Joel is right. Our self-image has tremendous impact on how we live, how we speak, act, and react. Luke 6:45 tells us, the good person out of the good treasure of his heart produces good, and the evil person out of his evil treasure produces evil. For out of the abundance of the heart, his mouth speaks. So what's in our heart is what comes out. What we truly believe deep down inside about ourselves, God, and others is what comes out. That's one of the reasons that after I go through declarations each day, I say, I give you permission, Lord, to make these things happen by changing the way I think about myself, about you, and about other people. I've got to have an ongoing change in how I think about myself and God, and others, of course. Joel goes on to say, your self-image is much like a self-portrait. It is who and what you may picture yourself to be, which may or may not be an accurate reflection of who you really are. And of course, our self-images aren't going to be accurate. If God says we're made in his image and being transformed internally into the likeness of his Son, then what we think about ourselves from our past, our environment, what others have said about us is probably not going to line up. The word also encourages us in Proverbs 4:23, keep your heart with vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life. So keep your heart, guard your heart. Guard against what? Against things that are not true, lies about ourselves and about God and his character. So what do you need to guard against today? What is your self-image telling you about you? We look like God, we're filled with God, and he's pouring out his love and favor on our lives today. You thinking that you're not enough, or you are less than, or you don't have what it takes, or you can never be, fill in the blank, doesn't square with what he sees when he looks at you. It's a harsh reality that it will be very hard to rise above the image we have in our minds about ourselves. Lord, help us change this view. If the God of the universe makes his home in us, shouldn't we go out boldly and take hold of the life God has set out before us? So speak over your life, that you are successful in what you do, whatever that looks like for you, whether that's success as a CEO or success in relationships and parenting. You are made in your Father's image and worth being seen and loved because of who he's called you to be. You have intrinsic value just because you are his. So friends, do not fear, just believe. Set your eyes on the one who loves you. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you feel encouraged and strengthened. If you want to connect with me, you can find me at amybphillips.com. See you next time.